Hey everybody, welcome to another video on the Elementor page builder for WordPress, and today it's all about CS hacks of the actual Elementor UI. And to jump in very quickly, I'm just going to show you a quick mechanism of adding CSS to a page via using templates. All these templates contain is some CSS which can be applied directly to any page or any project, and being in the template library I can move it freely around the place. So the first one, which has been doing the rounds on the Elementor Facebook group, is the section UI hack, which basically just transfers the position of that section UI to the foot of the section. So it allows us to grab hold of those sections sometimes when the top one has been overlaid by another section. So a very, very simple hack, and the code behind it can actually be easily accessed, and we can actually just change the position of that UI within the CSS. So here we go, we move it to 50% and we're now in the middle. Now the great part of this is if we want to put it back to the top, we can say 0. But because it's in a template, we can just remove the template and apply it as necessary. So the second and the third will all be applied in the same mechanism. The second one is a little bit more for those geeky people that want to do some proper CSS of their widgets, and they have multiple CSS classes scattered all over the place. Great thing to do. Again, keep your CSS in a single section somewhere so you have visibility of it. But where are all those classes hidden on all those widgets? There's no inspector to show you, so you resort to using the web inspector or scouring around the different editors of every single widget you do. So here's my simple widget inspector. So this allows me, as I hover over an item, to actually see all of the classes and the data ID that's applied to those particular widgets. So that's a very, very simple way of me seeing what I've just built. So that's the second hack, which again can be switched on and switched off as necessary, and they're all coded to only operate on the back-end editor. They will not affect the front end whatsoever. Now the third, final, but definitely not least in the list, is actually what I think a lot of people would be calling out for, which is my onion skin hack. Now this, still work in progress, but currently allows me to provide focus on the element I'm currently editing, whilst in the meantime everything else drops into the background. So this gives me better visibility and control, but what's even better still is it completely eradicates the need for the first hack. So as we can see here, we've got two sections overlaid, and I can still grab hold of each of the columns and the UIs at the front, and then I can flip to the back section and I can edit all of the content within that one and then move back and forth. So very, very quickly, no need to mess around with any negative margin elements, and gives better visibility to what I'm currently editing. And if I just move away from the screen, I get everything back into view, and as I said, it won't actually run at the front end. And again, it's one of those ones that you can just switch on and switch off by removing it and adding it as you need. So hopefully this has inspired you a little bit about CSS and working with Elementor, and hopefully if I get enough likes and enough comments, I'll share happily the code with you guys, as well as potentially upload some templates, which would be awfully lazy of anybody if they can't be bothered to copy and paste some code, but I will put it out there somewhere in the next couple of days or so. So if you like it, share some love. And I'm going to leave you on one other little element today, which is something I've currently been working on, which is the next project which will come up in the tutorial, which is my new sort of slider box widgety thing, which is a single section interface that allows you to create what I think is quite a wonderful technique. And the brilliant part of this is all of the content can still be accessed and edited through the Elementor interface like so, and I can quite easily add and remove content with no problems whatsoever, and then revert quickly back to the view to see how it looks in live mode. So there's lots of clever things to be done here. It's going to be mainly focused on the CSS transformation, transition and translation properties that you can create these wonderful effects, and the code really isn't that complicated. So hopefully in the next day, two, or maybe the next week, I'll upload a new tutorial, and until then, it's goodbye from me.